I used to think all paneer was bland and chewy, but when I discovered how it's made traditionally, I learned it can actually be incredibly tender and flavorful. Even my husband, who usually isn't a fan, loves it. So I'm going to show you my step-by-step method for making the best paneer, a few fun ways to spice it up, and my favorite way to serve it. This recipe is incredibly simple, so even if you're brand new at this, you are going to nail it. Put about a liter or a quart of milk of any kind into a heavy bottom saucepan. Now here's where most recipes go off track. They tell you to boil the milk, but boiling drives out too much moisture, resulting in a rubbery, tough paneer. Instead, you need slow, steady heat. So heat the milk gently until it's frothy and steamy. Once the milk is heating, it's time to add a few small things that most recipes skip. But these ingredients go a long way to building a tender, flavorful cheese. Add a half teaspoon of salt, a half teaspoon of sugar, and a teaspoon of ghee. The salt helps the curds hold the right amount of moisture. The sugar balances the acidity that's coming later, and the ghee adds richness and a silky mouthfeel. Now, if you're new to cheese making, I have a workshop that teaches how to make 5 kinds of cheese in a single morning. It's fun, packed with information, and it demystifies the whole process. So check out the link below. This next step is the biggest transformation in the whole process, and the secret is to take it slow. See, with paneer, the milk is curdled with fresh lemon juice, but most home cheesemakers make a common mistake. They simply dump all the acid into the milk at one time, and then they wonder why their paneer turned out tough. So here's the fix. Use 2 acids and add them in stages. So first, after about 10 minutes of stirring the frothy, steaming milk, you add 2 to 4 tablespoons of plain yogurt. Stir it in gently for about a minute or so. And then you add the second acid, which is fresh lemon juice, but just add a tablespoon at a time, stirring between additions until the curds separate cleanly. You do not want to add more acid than is necessary. This gradual approach traps in the moisture, and the result is a soft, creamy paneer that holds its shape but melts in your mouth. Now, this next step is all about the process, and it is crucial. In fact, if you choose to only follow one of these steps I'm giving you, make sure it is this one. Once the curds have formed, if you leave them sitting in the hot, acidic way, they will continue to tighten up, becoming too dense and chewy and overly tangy. So how do we prevent this? It's simple. First, immediately after the curds have formed, take it off the heat and add a couple cups of cold water to the pot to stop the cooking and lock in the moisture. Then when you pour everything in a cheesecloth lined colander, rinse the curds with even more cold water to finish cooling and to clear out excess acid. This washing is what preserves the soft, creamy texture, and it restores the milk's natural sweet flavor. Now it's time to press the curds, but right now they are delicate and still full of butterfat and whey. If we press them too hard, we're going to toughen them up. So gentle, steady pressure lets the curds knit together while staying creamy inside. So not the cheesecloth, I'm using a Stilton knot, and press lightly for 2 to 3 hours, just enough to let the whey drain without squeezing out the fat. There's no need to flip during this pressing process, just let it sit. So now the final step is to cure the paneer in the fridge for an hour or so before you eat it. This cold rest allows the paneer to firm up so that you can slice it cleanly and neatly without it crumbling. We'll get to that in a minute. Right now we're going to make more paneers. But first, there are 2 main rules for adding things to your paneer. If you're adding dried spices, add them at the start of the milk when you begin heating it so that they have time to soften and infuse the milk. And second, any fresh herbs that you add get added at the end of the steaming process because they absorb into the milk so much more quickly and they do not need to cook as long. So I'm going to show 3 different versions. First up is golden fire paneer. At the start, to the milk, add 1 teaspoon of ground turmeric, 1 teaspoon of dried chili flakes, and a half teaspoon of crushed dried pepper. An optional choice is to add a 1/4 cup or so of chopped fresh mint at the very end, but I'm not doing it this time around. Make the cheese as normal the whole way through. and get it pressing. I have a big pan here and some boards because the juice will run off of the different kinds and I don't want it to mingle, even though that might not matter. So I'm gonna put this one right here, get that situated. And this one, which is getting quite flat, is gonna go on the higher end. So for the second version, we're making cracked pepper paneer. To the milk, add 1 teaspoon freshly cracked black pepper and a pinch of asafoetida. Asafoetida is made from the resin from giant fennel root. It has an oniony and garlicky flavor. It's very pungent, so you just need a pinch. So for the third paneer, we're gonna do a spiced paneer. To start, you place 4 cardamom pods and 4 cloves in a small bit of cheesecloth. Tie it up and you add that into the milk along with 2 teaspoons of cumin seeds. You wanna keep the cloves and cardamom pods separate so you don't have those crunchy bits at the end. And then toward the end of the steaming milk process, you're gonna add about 3 tablespoons of chopped fresh cilantro, 1 inch of minced ginger, and some minced jalapeno to taste. If you want it really fiery, go big. If you want just a little bit, just do a little. .9 ounces. This is the cracked black pepper. Oh, it's a little bit cracky. I wonder if it should be pressed a little bit more. I'm gonna say it's okay. And this one weighs 7.1. The herbed paneer, that one is 7.7. Gorgeous. And that one is 7.1. Now there are so many other spices that you can add. Fennel seeds, crushed garlic, scallions, coriander seed, Chinese 5-spice. If you have added other things, I would love to hear what you like to do with your paneer. I cannot wait to taste this. just the plain one right now. It is chilled. It feels tender. It's a little bit tacky, damp. It smells fresh. I don't smell lemon. I smell milk and sweetness. It smells very nice, very kind of mild. And let's taste some. Oh man. It is soft, it is tender. It kind of breaks apart a little bit. It's slightly tangy, but mostly it's sweet. It's delicious. Very mild, very nice. Let's cut the next one. Man, it's beautiful. Gorgeous pepper. I love that Indian spice in there. That is delicious, perhaps one of my favorite. I feel like this one should be called the Green Goddess. You can see all the ginger in there and the herbs. It's not too spicy. I don't get the ginger. Try another bite. Get the cilantro, cumin. There's a little bit of jalapeno. I could have put in more jalapeno. It's just herby deliciousness. It tastes very fresh. All right, and the last one. So you can see how it squidges, but it holds together. Oh yeah. There's a kick. That's yummy. Now we gotta fry some up. Let's pan fry this paneer. The way I like to serve it is to cube the paneer and then fry it in ghee. You can sprinkle it with salt for a delicious, simple snack. Look at how this is squidgy. It bubbles out a little bit. It like poofs, poofs, poofs. Oh my gosh. When you eat it fresh, like before frying it, it's a little bit pasty, a little bit gluey. It's not rubbery, it's not tough, it's not hard. It's just a little bit of that firmer flavor. And then this kind of melts it down and makes it fluffy and tender with the crispy edges around it. Oh, get some of that salt on there. It's milky and buttery and crunchy and really, really good. I'm gonna fry up the rest of it and then make food with it. So here is the paneer all fried up. I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of salt on them all just so they're seasoned properly. Yeah, that is a lovely, lovely sight. I think the asafoetida version is my favorite. Just so beautiful. Golden deliciousness. But if you wanna take it to the next level, make a creamy, spicy tomato butter sauce. It's our family's favorites, and I'll include the link to the recipe below the video. Now that you've mastered paneer, you might be wondering what else you can make with just milk and a few simple steps. There's another fresh cheese that's just as easy, just as satisfying, and every bit as versatile, but it is completely different. So if you're ready to keep building your cheese making skills one simple recipe at a time, then check this out next. And happy milk slinging! Mad skills, nunchuck skills.